Nimue, everything I wanted. Great, cool new band, and seen them once live, and they're a lot of fun. And I know Nick and Ann personally, and great tune. And she's always got great vocals, and you can always feel how heartful and soulful she kind of gives her all every time she sings a tune.
Yeah, I really, to me, that reminded me, this is a bit of a weird combination, but there was a bit of country in there. There was kind of a Sheryl Crow vibe, which I know is kind of country, but kind of pop, and it had that. It had, vocally, I don't know if you know a soul singer called Solomon Burke, who's a big bloke that sits in a throne and sings, and he sounds like an angel. Really cool. And Joss Stone. And I kind of, they were the three names that came into my head. And that's quite a weird combination, but that worked really, really well. And that was one, when you sent me the playlist earlier, I listened to the tunes, and that was one where I was like, is there any more? Can you send me an album or whatever? And I think he said it's not out yet, but that's really cool. I could get into that very easily and follow that for a long time. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was, you could tell just by the way that it was sung and all the lyrics in there, it was really personal. And it did have a great vibe to it, and I felt that same country type of emo bar vibe in there. That it's like you can almost listen to it in like a nice smoky room, but man, the vocals and everything just cut through it just beautifully, and it's very tasteful. Every piece. This is a great example of one of those bands that when they're putting stuff together, you have to listen to it over and over again, because if you listen to it, you'll hear just a couple of measures that have a really nice fill in it, a good hi-hat that'll just, go extra beats, a good lick that's buried just deep into the mix, just so that when you listen to it the fifth or sixth time, you're like, wow, I just heard that, and that's really cool. And I really dig when people do that to music, where little tiny bits and pieces get stuffed in there, and then they come out everything as you listen to it. So I was definitely into this tune. It was cool.
Well, you know what, I'm kind of glad you mentioned that, because I was talking to some people the other day about stuff like some movies you watch over and you still pick up little stuff after you've seen, like, even though you've seen like 5 or 10 times, and one of them is Deadpool. And the funny thing about that one is, like, one of my favorite parts is when he's got, only got the 10 bullets, but he got more than 10 guys to kill. And he's like thinking how he's going to do it. So he's counting down each bullet. And then the second to last one is like, 3, 2, fuck! Because he always had 2 bullets on the one guy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of, like, little, we'll call it Easter eggs in there of stuff like sticky notes and just underlying stuff that you don't see the first time around. And you go, oh my god, how didn't I see that the first time, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so... So go ahead.
No, I agree.
Okay.
I love when I get to hear stuff like that, especially when it's some of my favorite tunes that I can go back and listen to, and then I just hear like a note that I never heard before. That's another thing that I like to do, is I'll like to listen to some of my favorite tunes on different sound sources, so that just the EQs are different and stuff like that. And there's been a lot of times when I've been blessed that I hear, oh wow, I never heard that before. I never heard that buried in the mix, and I'm like, man, I love when stuff like that happens.
Well, I tell you what, one of my favorite, and as far as I'm concerned, one of the best albums of all time, Nine Inch Nails' The Fragile. I listened to that I don't know how many countless times, but I'm still picking up stuff that I didn't hear before, and I'm just loving every minute of it.
Yeah, you know what I absolutely love Nin, and one of the things that I thought was funny, and I don't want to get too off track, but I loved how I read an article the one time that when they did Pretty Hate Machine, they had 60-some tracks for the studio, and I think he filled up just about every single one of them on every song. But then when they did the Downward Spiral, I think he said that he only did maybe about 25 or 30 tracks. And it's funny because if you listen to the Downward Spiral, it sounds like you would use as many as you possibly could, but it's stripped down to the point that, he just got the sound so wild. So it's neat how, there's different dynamics of stuff, of how stuff works like that in production.
For sure. And go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I love that idea that sometimes simplicity sounds more complicated than it is because it's done so well. I think that's a really cool thing. And the other thing actually I was going to say is that, and I meant to say earlier, when we were listening to your track, One Man Standing, 9 Inch Nails came into my head, and that whole industrial thing came into my head straight away actually, and I didn't say it earlier, but it's funny hearing you say, oh, I really like that band. It's like, yeah, I can tell that.
Thank you. Just to even have my name mentioned, in the same sentence is blows my mind. So thank you very much for that.
That's just what I hear, man.
Right on, guys. So next up, we're gonna get with a band called Water Baby, and they opened up for With a Fox last night. They had their debut show last night, and Water Baby was cool because they opened up with a cover of Bringing Down the House. It was actually pretty cool live. But this one's called They'll Come Back for Us. Dig this. This is Water Baby.
Something keeps on running at me. It's kind of like the way you come running at me. Straightforward, powerful, keeps me beaming like a window to the night. Feeling, really feeling high from a gutter. Ruby-eyed, fighting for the rival. So I and you did too. Till we walk away, we'll hunt for food. They'll come back for us, they'll come back for us. They'll come back for us, they'll come back for us. They'll come back for us, they'll come, come, come. Love me better once I learn the Bible. Listen to my words and prepare the rival. Straightforward, powerful, keeps me beaming like a window to the night. Feeling, really feeling high from the gutter. Ruby-eyed, fighting for the rival. I'll be a woman too, so I can find a man and learn his truth. He'll come back for me. He'll come back for me. He'll come back for me. He'll come back. He'll come, come, come. And now this emotion is keeping me high, baby. We're going nowhere. And sooner or later the memory dies. And now this emotion is keeping me high, baby. We're going nowhere. And sooner or later the memory dies. And now this emotion is keeping me. And now this emotion is keeping me. And now this emotion is keeping me high. And now this emotion is keeping me. And now this emotion is keeping me. And now this emotion is keeping me high. And sooner or later the memory dies. And sooner or later the memory dies. Sooner or later the memory dies. Sooner or later the memory dies.
Water Baby, They'll Come Back for Us. That was a cool tune, and Jess has got a fantastic voice, and she was one of the singers for High School Sweetheart a couple years ago. But great band. Like, I saw them last night. They opened up for With a Fox, and really enjoyed watching them. Like I said, they opened up with Burning Down the House, and what a great cover that was. Like, they did a great job, and really enjoyed the music.
Yeah, I really like that. It's interesting, actually. Yeah, that's what I love about shows like this. That you get to see themes. And one of the themes that you see recently in music is this kind of 60s theme. I felt like they had a real 60s vibe. It was kind of more of a, I suppose, kind of pop rock thing compared to, say, Wild Horse, who opened the show with that, ballsy rock and roll Stonesy thing. But it's all still kind of that era, and I think we go through trends in music, quite often in the mainstream and in the underground and the unsigned and grassroots scene. And at the moment, certainly in the unsigned and grassroots scene, there's a kind of 60s vibe coming through, and I think that's a really cool thing. Like, in 1inFIVE, we love the Doors. That's kind of, one of the things that brought us all together was the fact that we all love the Doors. And now we're seeing, other bands take on different things from that kind of era and turn it into something modern. And I just think that's a really cool thing. And these guys do that really well, as do loads of other bands. And I was really impressed. Once again, it was really, really good tune, really nice vibe. A bit of a dancey tune as well, where you can kind of see yourself having a groove to it, and it was cool, man.
Brian?
Yeah, I was digging it. It was cool. The vocals were really nice. They were smooth. The guitar was really, really nice. It had a good, you're right, 60s guitar, and the chord feel to it, and the chord progression was nice too. It was a very bright poppy feel, which is similar to what we have going on in the current music scene that's out there. I think we could easily see this in some manner of commercial use. You say that they opened last night with "Burning Down the House." I would have loved to have seen that. I mean, that's such a great tune. I would have loved to have seen that, or even heard it or something like that. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, it was a cool cover.
Yeah, I could definitely imagine. I mean, these guys have a cool feel to them, and her voice is definitely it's a nice smooth sound. So I think these guys will do well. They're really, really good.
Right on. So next up is a band that had their debut show last night, Friday the 13th, with a full moon on top of everything, which was bad as hell. Nothing strange happened. I mean, it's almost a psycho smack response for some people, as far as I'm concerned. But that's a whole different thing aside of this. So let's get to With the Foxes off their new album, which they'll actually have a split vinyl and CD come out in middle of March. And the song's called Anywhere With You. Dig this, With a Fox.